avalanche tunnel. So that's storm force. That's a wall. There's this story about the Arctic that I've really been wanting to tell, and I think it's time. It's a story about making your life and your time your own, and making the most out of the one life we're given. The world moves fast, faster every year. We measure our lives in deadlines, in notifications, in numbers on a screen. And without realizing it, our time starts to feel borrowed. I didn't question this for the longest time. I thought that was just life. But there were moments, small ones, when I would step outside late at night and everything was still. No emails, no expectations, just cold air and silence. And in that silence, something felt different, slower and honest. I grew up in a winter wonderland with snow that softens the world, wind that clears your thoughts, long horizons with nothing demanding your attention. Nature doesn't rush, it doesn't compete, it doesn't care about productivity, it just exists. And standing in it, you start to realize how loud everything else in the world has become. When the path I was on suddenly disappeared, I didn't have a plan, I only had uncertainty. But uncertainty did something unexpected. It gave me space. Space to think, space to seek nature, space to ask a simple question. What do I actually want? The answer wasn't money, it wasn't status, it wasn't success. It was something quieter than that. It was the freedom to own my own time. I didn't move my life to the Arctic because I loved the cold. I moved because I wanted something else. I wanted my time to be my own. And out here, in the stillness, with snow falling and no one watching the clock, I finally understood what that meant. This is the story of how I found it. Taking a little detour down to the ferry quay here, just to look at the ferry times. Looks like there's vehicles waiting here, so it might mean that there's something. I talked to that guy there and I'm gonna take the ferry across. It's going once an hour, so there's no problem getting anywhere at all, so that's what I'm doing. The ferry leaves in 15 minutes and it apparently goes every hour approximately, so no trouble at all, and I think it's even free. Here comes the ferry. It's a pretty big one for this small place here. Every hour. That's quite impressive. There were like 4 vehicles on that ferry, and I got 1 car behind me and there's 2 cars in front of me here. Not a lot of traffic. Alright, spur of the moment. I know nothing about this place at all, so it's gonna be interesting to see what it looks like. Looking on the map, it looks very interesting, so can't wait to see this. Only problem, of course, is that it's gonna be very windy over the coming days, so hope I can find a sheltered spot.
Quite big.
Vậy là xuống này ngay của tao đánh với chữ đó.
Help others to figure out. Who will guide you through to the night trap and advise you on what to do once aboard. Please follow the instructions. Tack för droppbacken. Ta på hatten och fram här. Thank you for your attention. Have a pleasant coffee. ulyska händelse uppstår.
Oh, there's more vehicles here than I expected. Let the locals pass. Look at this. Wow. So, a lot of reindeer here. And I guess Santa Claus as well. I'm gonna go to Årviksan first, 35 kilometers. And maybe I'll come over to this side of the island tomorrow. Just spectacular. Gotta love Arctic Norway. It's something. It's a sight to behold. Wow. That's a different island over there. The first stop we did with the ferry. So here's a good spot. I could park right here. Amazing spot, actually. But I'm gonna travel all the way to the other side of the island and see what we got over there. So it's these spur-of-the-moment actions that makes this life so rich. Just like, oh, let's take this ferry. Let's ask a local. And then you end up with finding out that the ferry goes every hour, basically. That's the cool stuff about rural infrastructure in Norway. The whole ferry thing is just incredibly well organized. Some of these places don't have a lot of traffic, and I'm pretty sure it costs a lot to keep these places connected, but that's a priority, so that's cool. I grew up in the outdoors, in the remote Norwegian mountains, born with skis on my legs and snow in my blood. As I grew older, I picked up music and started experimenting with recording, producing, and composing. I studied music and made a career as a music producer. I built out my own studio and worked with national and international artists. As my music career developed, I moved to LA to continue working with more international artists and to be present in the popular music capital of the world. My plans were disrupted as the pandemic hit in 2020 and everything closed down. Nobody got together to write songs and record music any longer. Wow. Now my van said in the display, possible ice on the road. Wow. That was unexpected. Too much weather. Too much. I wonder how much one of these houses are. It's beautiful here. Look over to Lyngen to the right there. the Lyngen Alps there. The disruption became the start of my new path. I started spending a lot more time in the outdoors of the American West and later back home in Norway, going back to my outdoor roots. I started filming my backpacking and camping trips and making little YouTube videos. At first, just to showcase some of the music I made for myself outside my professional music career. But the videos started reaching more people, and as my excitement for the sharply declining music industry had started to burn out, I decided I wanted to try and change my life. I wanted to be free to own my own time. I stopped chasing what I thought I needed and started paying attention to what actually felt right. I didn't want to have to answer to anyone and be dependent on others to control my time. Even though being a music producer was a dream job, it was always depending on someone else's approval and schedules. I wanted to live my life away from it all, in the wild, in the Arctic, in a van, documenting my journey for all you, my friends on YouTube, in the peace and solitude of Arctic weather conditions, blizzards, snowstorms, and extreme cold, but also the stunning beauty of snow, ice, and the northern lights. Well, this is better than Lofoten because there's no people here. Not a single rental car that I could see. And no Northern Lights tourists. And I'm gonna knock on wood on that one because you never know what's gonna happen. But this could be quite magical for Northern Lights out here. Look at this awesomeness. Here's a parking spot, big one. I think it's gonna be very windy. So I'm gonna go up on the northern side of the island because the wind is gonna come from the south. Maybe it's sheltered, maybe not. Let's see, just exploring. This is a new one and I gotta love it. All right, avalanche tunnel. The plow truck. Alright, gonna go across a mountain pass, looks like, or at least through a mountain valley here. Wow, this is amazing. This is pretty wild. I hope you can see something. Snowdrift is starting on the road. I looked where I just passed. The weather forecast said it would be 20 meters a second. Not sure what that is. It's not a storm, but it's uncomfortable. Hey Siri, how much is 20 meters a second in miles per hour?
To do that, you'll need to be online.
Oh, I need to be online now. Yeah, that's very old school of you. Hey Siri, that's very old school of you.
Sure thing.
Valley is a harsh place. You can see how little snow there is on the road. That's because it's raised pretty high up. You can see out on the left side there. But the wind going through here, this is a north to south, south to north valley. The wind's gotta be just crazy. Don't want to stay in this valley when the wind is coming from the south at all. It was a struggle. For years, I didn't make any money. I lived off savings, a little bit of royalties, and a little bit of YouTube income. I often questioned my decision to leave the music industry behind, but today, it looks like the best choice I ever made. That was pretty harsh across here. I didn't expect this. Guess that plow truck was across here not very long ago. And this road could get impassable pretty fast. Super fast. Can't see much. There's another one. Absolutely did not expect these conditions here. I guess this side of the island as well has some pretty harsh wind right now. This is the little town of Viksanden, and I don't know what that means, but it's something to do with bay and sand. And I have a spot in mind that I want to go to. I think it's down here. Let's see if we can get to this spot if it's not completely snowed in. They might not have plowed to this area. So this should be a food store here to the left. But it doesn't look like it. Nope, that is not a store. It's probably somewhere else. Oh, there it is. That's probably the store. So what do we do here? I think we go out here. Maybe there's a harbor. Wow, we're on the beach here. This is probably amazing in summer. These places usually are. So I got a kilometer left to where I'm hoping to find a sheltered spot, but I have a feeling it's not plowed. Yep. And it's kind of blown over here. Yeah. That's a wall of snow right there. That's not gonna happen. Let's go back to the harbor. Huge lot here, but I think we're too close to people. Camper van. Actually, seems like a repair shop. So what am I doing? I don't know. I might go all the way back, to be honest. See if I can wait for a plow truck and go to the sheltered side of the island. Hard to say. Could probably park out here, but feel like I'm intruding on someone. Seems to be a lively community. A lot of houses with lights on. A car just came across, so I'm gonna try to follow his tracks and get across to the other side. Can't really see it that much on the camera, but it's getting pretty nasty. Few spots here. Hope that I don't get stuck, but the road is open, but there's some snowdrifts that are pretty mean. Few corners that are really bad. And now the wind is hitting the van sideways. Alright, so here's one. Yeah, let's go in the tracks. Boom. In the tracks. Oh man. Fast that flew over. That car was just here 2 minutes ago. Boom. I think they might close this road. I saw actually down over here it's gonna be 24 meters a second winds, so that's storm force. There's another one, and I think some of the worst stuff is up here. And I think up there on that corner it was really bad. You can really feel the whole van shaking from this wind now. But it's not snowing, so it's not a blizzard or a snowstorm coming up. It's just gonna be a ton of snowdrift. So, on top here, I think it's the bad spot. Going 70 kilometers an hour. And actually down to 40 or 30 at the moment of passing the snowdrift there, but this is some nasty stuff here. I wonder if that was the last one. So it's all very windy, so I think I'm gonna go all the way back to close to the ferry, because that weather forecast over there was totally different. But let's just get through this. And there's some people camping out on the ice. Well, I think they packed up. Yeah, they're packing up. That might have been too much in this wind. Yep, they packed up. Today I'm gonna take and actually do the California burritos the way I intended them, and I'm gonna use the pre-cooked chicken from a few days ago, and I'm gonna see if I can open the jalapenos. Yeah, much easier now. Jalapenos. I'm gonna make my chili mayo. I didn't have mayo the last time, so that needs to be done properly now. Got some new tortillas. Gonna have onions. And then key to the California burritos is French fries. Gonna do that. And before I start, I'm gonna celebrate these amazing northern lights outside with an alcohol-free beer. Gonna do the trick again. And that works. I'm 100% certain it works now. Yeah. Absolutely no overflowing here. So cheers, my friends. Now this is how... Oh, that's good. Now this is how the California burritos are really supposed to be made. So for the chili mayo, diet mayo, sriracha, and then just make it as strong as you want it. I don't prefer it strong myself at all, because it's I used to love strong spicy food when I was younger, but these days I tend to like it a bit more soft. Then some sriracha. That should be okay. Since I'm gonna have jalapenos as well, better not be too strong. These are like 2/3 so strong, but it's all mild, I guess. So just mix the mayo with the sriracha. And there's one thing I tried once, and that was to have caramelized onions in the chili mayo. That was interesting. Not a failure, not a success. So, there's the chili mayo. Alright, let's cut some onions. So it's kind of a survival thing, cutting onions. You need to be very careful, and you need to have checked the forecast before you do it, so you don't do anything wrong. Alright, so got the onions, got the French fries, and gonna get the chicken out. Start the pan. Open the sunroof. A little bit of oil. Some French fries. Onions. Salt on the fries. Cheers again. And then the pre-cooked chicken goes on there. Just gonna clean this box out right away. That. Clean the onion mess. I like to always keep things clean as I go, not have any mess sitting around. Nearly forgot, gonna have a little bit of cheese as well. Let's open these tortillas here. I might do 2. I think maybe I'll do 4 actually, and have 2 for lunch tomorrow. That's always a good thing when you're in a van, to have some leftovers. So dinner at 11 in the polar night. Do quite a bit. Oh, I just remembered there's one thing I'm missing for the California burritos, and that's beans. I should have had beans. I don't have beans. Probably need to make this one more time. But I do have spinach. And with the spinach, I also had some red peppers that I forgot about. That was pre-cut. And it's time to get the cheese in with the French fries. think we're ready with French fries. Some of this stuff on to here. Okay, I could have had even more fries, I guess. Let's do the chicken. Oh, that's some good stuff. Okay, onions. Need a little bit more. I think we're good with the onions too. They smell caramelized. That's the smell I was looking for. Oh, that's humming noise. That's the fridge. That usually happens when I'm cooking. It gets warmer, so the fridge tries to cool things down. Alright. Last tiny detail. Some jalapenos to just give it a little bit of bite. That's the burritos, my friends. I actually think they're more like tacos, like larger tacos. So, should we call it tacos? I think we call it tacos. Cheers, my friends. Let's eat and then go back out and look at the northern lights. Since I call them tacos, they don't really need to be wrapped in any correct way. But these are pretty soft, actually. So, they feel like burritos. Good stuff. Let's hope so. That's the best burrito tacos ever. And there's that French fries. Mmm. So this keeps developing and reached another level today. Now we just need beans. So how do you like your tacos or burritos? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear some new ideas. Keep in mind that I use what I have. I don't have a store to go to every day.
Today, and for the past few years, I have been able to make a decent living from my YouTube videos and the support from you, my friends. I choose my own time, my own schedule, and my own locations. I decide when it's time to show the world what I have been working on creating and filming, showing you my life in the Arctic and beyond. Today, it's all up to my own choices, and I'm so grateful to every single one of you who choose to watch my videos. Right, so these are the new routes for the ferry. So where I came from is Storstein, and I think I took the one at 2:30, or was it 1:30 maybe? I don't know. And for my return, I have Lauksundsskaret here. So basically, almost every hour through the day. So that's an easy, very easy route. I think it's free as well. Well, I'm up on the sunroof. It is quite windy here, but look at this amazing place. It's 10:30-ish. And this pink light is just magical. Still got a few days left until the sun is back. But it's coming soon. Alright, I'm gonna travel down to the end of the road here, I think. And then I might return and take the ferry over to the mainland again. Really love it here. And I would love to stay longer, but the wind is so fierce over on the places that I want to go and stay, so I'm not doing that. But I want to see this stuff here, might come back. It's amazing here. But this is the only side of the island that's a little bit sheltered. Might not be better on the mainland though. But I have a plan for where I'm going, so we'll just have to see. Orca adventure out here. Huh. Maybe this fjord is good for seeing orcas. Got a cell tower right up here. So, full 5 bars of 4G. I mean full 4 bars of 5G. Yeah, people live out here. And what do they do for a living? I guess fishing, fish farming. Yeah, the wind's been coming through the pass here. I'm guessing. Yeah, here's the sign down to a fish farm. Some abandoned houses as well. Love it. Not many places to park this way though. Some cool ski areas here for when the days grow longer. There's a little village at the end of the world. Alright, I think we're gonna turn around and go back to the ferry. It's pretty cool here, but not much more to see out here. But I'm gonna go back to the ferry now. I think I should be able to reach it. It leaves in 12 minutes. This is the other island that I did not go to yesterday. I think the only way to get to these places is by boat. This is awesome for going out here and go skiing when there's a little bit more daylight. Give it a month. Oh, look at that. The ferry is arriving. And I'm 9 minutes until it leaves. Can I make it? 6 minutes? I think they'll probably stay until I'm down there. Because the schedule is now it's 5 minutes until it leaves. Yeah, I'm good. Yep.
I don't think everyone needs to live this life in a van in the Arctic. This was simply my way of finding space and learning what mattered to me. It did not happen without uncertainty or doubt or sacrifice. There were moments I questioned everything, moments I wondered if I had made a mistake. But somewhere along the way, I realized that owning my time was worth more than certainty. That doesn't mean it's the right path for everyone. Maybe you love your work. Maybe stability gives you peace. Maybe your freedom looks completely different than mine. And that's the point. We only get one life. The question isn't where you live. It's whether the life you're living feels like your own. For me, the answer was here, alone, in the Arctic. I think everyone can do this, find their own path to freedom. It is not about van or YouTube, not about money or connections. It's about perseverance, patience, and the will to make do with less to eventually find true freedom. But every path will be different. You only got one life, so don't follow the crowd.